Hey guys, welcome back to another kit review. I had been looking, actually I take that back, I had been watching some TV and I actually was watching that new Star Wars series Rebels. It was pretty cool. I like it, I really do. The neat thing that I like about it is it shows us more in depth about the world around the Star Wars stories that we're used to. You know, common city scenes and stuff like that. I just like it. But there was one scene that I saw in the show that I wanted to replicate. I thought was a pretty neat idea. And it was a crashed TIE fighter scene. It had a TIE fighter crashed on the side of a hill. And I thought it was pretty neat. And I thought I wanted to try making that little diorama. So I was trying to find a TIE fighter, and they're relatively difficult to find. And the ones you can find are very expensive. The only one that I could really find, and I actually stumbled on it by accident, I wasn't really looking at the time, just when I saw it jogged my memory, was this one here. It's the Revell Snap-Tight Star Wars TIE Fighter. One thing I don't understand about the Star Wars kits is they all seem to be snap kits. Not sure why, but I got this and my goal was I didn't care if it was a snap kit pre-painted. I just wanted to cut it up and make it into the scene. Problem is, when I got it home and I looked, it's actually too big. I don't have the room to make a diorama for a TIE fighter this big. So I just decided I'm just going to scrap the idea of making the crash scene and just going to take it and build it the way it is. But when I opened it up and I looked at it, I was very, very surprised at the amount of detail in the kit. It really does have a lot of detail. So hang on a second, let's take a look at this sucker. Alright, bear in mind this is a Revell snap kit, okay? This isn't a fine molds kit that's one, very expensive, two, highly detailed with hundreds of parts. It's just a simple kit that's pre-painted and comes on 4 sprues. Or actually, I take it back, 5 sprues. It's very basic. You've got, first off, we got our stand. Okay. Buff this up, polish it, be very nice. You've got a couple of the interior components here. Here and here. Okay. Again, for a snap kit, very nicely detailed. Okay. I can't pretend to tell you what the parts are, except that this is the floor. Nice grading system. It looks very nice. Come over to the tie wing itself. Look at that detail. I mean, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool. A lot of nice detail on the wings. Wires, tubes. Very cool. You've got your panel. Again, look at the detail in the panel. Lots of nice detail. Okay. Then you got the front and the back of the eyeball. Okay, again, very nice detail. Not any flash to speak of. It comes in a bluish gray plastic. If you really want to, you can take this, prime it over and repaint it, but I have to admit, I'm probably not going to. I'm probably just going to snap this together and hang it somewhere. Okay. The second solar panel. All the same detail. More cockpit parts here. This is the, I believe this is the ion engine here. Part of the stand. Cockpit components here. This is for the pilot. It looks like it's control stick. Again, part of the framework of his chair, I believe. I believe this is the top hatch. Flash on here, but really not seeing anything on the parts. The wings, edges, the panels here are going to need some cleaning up, but for the most part, it's in nice shape. The last sprue has got the framework for the last engine. Wing. Okay. Stand parts are in black. It's got these, I believe, are the guns, the pilot seat, stand, and these are the end caps for the wings. Simple kit. Very low part count. Now, the last sprue here is the front visor. Okay. Another glass piece here. I think this is for the hatch, the top hatch. And then it comes with a pilot. Okay. Again, for what it is, a snap kit, it's not bad. So, no decals come with the kit. The instructions are your typical Revell. Okay, very simple to do. Eight steps to put it all together. Alright. Oh, 9 steps. Sorry. Putting the base on the ship is the 9th step. But really, that's it. But it's really not a horrible looking kit. I think that a kit like this really offers itself to doing some great stuff. You don't really have to focus on the assembly because it's a snap kit, so it's going to just bing bang boom and it goes together. If you really want to detail it, you can always just weather this the way it is, or you can, like I said earlier, prime it over, start all over, and paint it any way you want. It really would be good for a diorama scene also, because you can focus on your diorama and what you're doing as opposed to the assembly part. It saves time. Okay, but it's a really nice kit. Should be able to put this together in just probably an hour or so. I can't really imagine it taking much longer than that. Maybe a little longer if you want to really clean up the parts, especially these solar panel wings. They look like the edges need to be cleaned up, but otherwise it shouldn't take you long at all. And excuse me, in the end, you're going to have a very nice representation of a Star Wars TIE Fighter. So that's it for right now. So till next time, be strong. Hey everyone, we're back with the Revell snap together TIE Fighter. Took a little over an hour to put this sucker together. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's the fastest build I've ever done, that's for sure. If this was a regular non-snap, non-painted kit, it probably would have taken me a couple months just because I'm slow as hell. But it didn't take long at all. Like I said, just over an hour to put it all together. I have to admit, I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty cool. Probably a little touch-up need to be done here and there with some sandpaper. But otherwise, it's just gonna sit like this. It's good enough. One thing I did run into problem-wise was over here. I'll call these the plugs. Once you put the solar panel on, this plug goes into here and holds the wing in place. And when I went to put it in, it stuck out, an 1/8 of an inch maybe. It just wouldn't go in all the way, and the more pressure I put, the body of the eyeball would start to split open, which caused me some great grief. I didn't want to shatter the whole thing, so it took a little bit of time to see it, but the arm here of the eyeball, when it goes to put the wing on, there's a key notch on the panel. There's also a key notch on the inner arm here, and they have to be lined up. What it was is the key notch was on the top on one, and on the panel was on the other, so when I put the plug in, it wouldn't work. Once you flop that around, it worked fine. Pops right in. It says it's a no glue kit. Just out of habit, I glued it all together, but I didn't have to. The only spot where I'd say that it definitely needed glue was on one of the wings. When you put the framework onto the panel itself, on one of them it sealed right up and it was fine. The other one, there was gaps and it kept splitting. So, I just threw some glue around the edge, threw a bunch of these clamps on, and within a couple minutes it was stuck together and it was fine. So that is the Star Wars TIE Fighter. It is definitely an easy peasy kit. It's got a lot of great detail. To be fair, and this is just my personal opinion, like I said, I did enjoy the build. It took an hour of time. I'm not so sure that it's really worth the $25 price tag though. But then again, I guess with the cost of the other TIE fighters that are out there, I guess it's better than not having one at all. But it's pretty cool. Looks like a TIE fighter. It'll work, and it's a completed kit for the year. Huzzah! So that's it for this one. So till next time, guys, be strong.